Okay, so why you should join the Army, or why you should join the military? See, right now in the news, there's the story about the Marine female who is pregnant, had some sort of relationship, with a guy, and this and that. And the thing is, you will hear about these stories every once in a while. The thing is, that's just not military related. Any population in the age group that you're dealing with of young adults, who are also experiencing stressful relationships, but just some people who not everybody who joins the military comes from the most clean background, by the way, or has this perfect background. That's why, when you watch movies and you see guys in the military, all these guys look clean and handsome, this and that. Not the case. Not the case. Going through basic training, it's just never a guy's like, ooh boy, and then throughout your military career, you'll run into people that there's not the most attractive, appealing people, but it doesn't take away from who they are or their personality. And that's really what you discover in the military, is that it's just what's on the inside really matters. You can come across a guy, you're like, oh, this guy seems real handsome and put together, and he knows what he's doing. And the guy will be a total dirtbag, so you'd be amazed. And this guy could be in charge of a bunch of people too. So, all kinds of things like that. But it got me to thinking about all the crazy people I've met. Let's see. In my basic training, there was one guy. He was a tall, skinny black kid who, real flighty, real nice guy, just real great personality. But he just, I don't know why, but he seemed to have some sort of impulse control problems, because he once did grab a drill sergeant's hat and pretend to be a drill sergeant, which got him in trouble. But the thing is, he had already been in trouble with in my training area, so they had to move him around. So it's so the guy did something else, get in trouble, and and that was just a guy who, it was obvious that there was something just mentally was his situation. And even then, you couldn't tell. You could not tell that there was something up with this guy. And, he wasn't crazy. He just seemed real hyper and flamboyant. So there was one guy who he had to get out of our little training area because he and one of the drill sergeants just had such a personality conflict, and the guy just couldn't let it go. And to me, I think that was that guy's problem, was that he just, for me, I just kept my mouth shut, didn't really say anything, just listened to people more than anything else, and that really was the saving grace for me. So it was really nice going through the military training, and not my first name wasn't it wasn't me, if people didn't get to know my first name, they got to know me. So it was awesome. It was great. Let's see. Going to my first training site, though, that was at Fort Meade, Maryland. Two or three people who I ended up being part of the suicide watch on these people, and it was surprising. There was one guy who was there when we arrived, and we thought he was a okay put together guy, but he just had a breakdown of some sort, had a problem. There was one guy who and suicide watch was they had some room set aside that they could put the guy in, and you just take away his shoelaces and belt, make sure there's nothing sharp in there, and the guy had access to a restroom and books, and I'm not sure if he had a TV or not, but you just keep an eye on the guy, and if there's anything goes on. But let's see, at least one girl, I know for sure one girl went on suicide watch, maybe another, at least two guys on suicide watch, maybe a third. So, and this is all before September 11th. So, when I went down to my second training site, I had to change jobs. down in Fort Gordon, Georgia. Let's see, I don't think there was too many guys on or I don't know about any guys on Suicide Watch, but I did hear tell, and because people complain about it, this one, a female who, she had whatever sort of issues, and it got to the point that she had a doctor's note that allowed her to have a pet fish in the barracks. And it wasn't something that the drill sergeants wanted to advertise and let on about it. And in fact, it's like, why would you want a pet in the barracks? Because, for one thing, you have a wall walker, and that's it, to store all your stuff. So a little word of advice to everybody out there: get a laptop computer once you get into your first training site. Don't do it beforehand, because I knew a woman who her laptop ended up being stolen going through basic training. And in fact, if you don't have any money saved up, by the time you get out of basic training, you should have some money saved up. I'm not sure how much it'll be, but you might need to get lucky. But get a laptop with a DVD player, and that'll be a lifesaver in so many ways. And then it's your choice if you want to get a higher-end one that can play video games or not. That's going to cost you a bit more money. And just the reason why is because there's a lot of downtime. So going through basic training, get books. Afterwards, something that can play movies, because you'll probably be spending a lot of time sitting around not doing too much. And having a little portable player that can play movies, especially with a battery pack attached, it helps. It really does help. So, and it makes you popular, even amongst the superiors. Let's see, what else? But afterwards, then I went through airborne training, and I ran into a guy who he hit his head during the training and started developing seizures. And I guess he wasn't too sure about it, but he may have had a family history. We're not too certain. But after he hit his head, he started having seizures, so he had to go on the medication for that. And that guy was doing all right, except for the fact that the guy in charge, who just really didn't care about all the airborne dropouts, like myself, this guy messed up, and the guy said, all right, you're going to be on watch, for 3 days straight. You're not going to, no sleeping at all. And I'm just like, hey, what are you doing? What do you mean? This guy is suffering, or this guy's on psychotic medication, and you're saying the guy stay awake for 3 days? And even the guy himself said, there's a couple times that he felt a seizure coming on. He had to double down on his medication. So felt horrible for the guy too. But the interesting thing is that for a lot of these guys who you come across, a lot of them are just saying, hey, how's it make my career out of it? So, and this is not including the people who physically could not hack the military. Their bodies just couldn't handle the stress of it all, and they were breaking down. So that's something else to just keep in mind and think about is, will your body be able to handle it? Will you be able to just be able to take all the more physical aspect of lifestyle? And even then, you'd be amazed. You'd be surprised. So that's why I'm kind of thinking that go for basic training after your junior year, and then see how you feel about it. So, and guys and girls, even if you're like this cutesy little, you think you're a weak girl, give it a try. You'd be amazed at what you can do. Is just realize that, but the best advice is just keep your mouth shut and do what they tell you to. And if you're struggling, don't hide the fact that you're struggling, because they'll say whatever they're going to say, but if you can't do something, don't do it. And if you think it's too much, or you don't want to put that much effort, don't do it. Save your body, ultimately. Don't listen to people. Just think, will this get me hurt? If yes, don't do it.